Good morning, Rosa Morgan.
Who are you again?
This is Whitney Page. I work at A Corporations, the company you're going to be joining. We exchanged phone numbers when you were accepted into the company. Do you remember?
Oh, I remember you. You were that woman, right?
I was assigned to teach you everything you need to know about the company and your job as a member of the department responsible for training new employees. I hope we can get along together starting today.
Oh, okay. And what do you want from me?
Today's supposed to be your first day of work. Where are you right now? You're already late as it is. The welcoming ceremony has already finished.
Yeah. I can't come in today because I need to take care of something else.
Huh? You're just going to skip work like that?
I told you that I wouldn't come in, so it should be fine, right?
Doesn't this mean that you were planning on just not coming to work without telling anyone if I hadn't contacted you?
It's no big deal. I'm only going to be absent for one day.
Miss Morgan, it's a rule of the company that you need to tell the supervisor if you're going to be absent.
What? A rule?
We need you to follow the rules if you're going to work here.
Do you recognize my last name or not? My father is the CEO of this company.
Yes, and what about it? Just because you're the CEO's daughter doesn't mean you deserve special treatment. We're going to have you undergo training just like the rest of the new employees, and we're going to have to warn you just like everyone else when we have to.
I don't have anything to learn from an old hag like you.
Well, I guess it's true that I'm older than you, who's 22 and just graduated from university, but that also means that I have more experience in society than you.
Is that so?
Anyways, you can't just not go to work for no reason. Please come to the office.
I told you already that I'm going to take a day off today.
Is it something so urgent that you couldn't attend the welcome ceremony?
I'm going shopping at the mall with my boyfriend.
What?
Oh, don't bother telling my father or something. Never mind, I'm going to tell him myself that you scolded me. You're going to regret rebelling against me, the daughter of the CEO, when you're just some low-ranking employee.
Whitney!
Good morning, President Morgan.
Is it true that you scolded my daughter? You know I'm the CEO, right? Come to my office right away!
All right, understood.
Hey, Whitney! It seems you left work early. Didn't you scold my daughter for not coming to work? And here you are ignoring your work and going home yourself.
I already submitted the form saying I was going to leave work early. I'm leaving work early to go to the doctor.
What, the doctor?
The inside of my mouth started bleeding when you punched me in the face. It also started swelling in the cheek, so I decided to go to the doctor.
Stop making such a big deal out of this! You're the one in the wrong for scolding my daughter in the first place! I only gave the proper punishment to one of my employees as the head of this company!
But wasn't I called to the office and punched in the face for scolding your daughter? After all I did was caution her for going absent without any reason?
Just who do you think you are? Rosa is the CEO of this company's only daughter.
Being absent without any prior notice is against the company rules. Your daughter is also an employee of this company starting today, so I only thought that it was my duty to warn her as the one responsible for her training. Also, giving Rosa special treatment is unfair, no matter how you look at it, and risks hurting the image of your company.
Who do you think you are talking so high and mighty like that? You're just a member of the training division. And not only is Rosa my daughter, but she's going to be the next CEO of this company.
The next CEO? Surely that hasn't been decided yet.
It's been decided by me, the current CEO of this company, which means that you're in no position to rebel against Rosa.
I'm not rebelling against Rosa. I'm just saying that she needs to do work just like the rest of us.
Anyways, you verbally abused Rosa, the daughter of the current CEO and also the next CEO of this company after me. You make a big deal even though all she did was not come to work without prior notice. For that, you're fired!
I see. I'm going to talk to my father about this incident.
Your father? Huh? And what use is that gonna be of? What's the father of a low-ranking employee like you gonna do?
Hi, Miss Page. I heard you were fired by my dad. I told you would regret it. This is what happens when a low-ranking employee like you rebels against the CEO's daughter. This is valuable life experience for you, isn't it? Don't even try thinking of rebelling against me starting from tomorrow, alright?
Rosa, just what is the meaning of this? You were the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company?
Yes, that's true. Did you receive word from my father?
He came to see me himself. I wondered what the hell was going on when he told me that you were his daughter. I couldn't tell because your last names are different.
My parents divorced when I was in high school, and ever since I've been using my mother's last name. Even though my parents divorced, I meet my father regularly, so our relationship as father and daughter is fine.
Why did you hide something as important as this?
I wasn't really hiding it. I just didn't think I needed to tell everyone about it. I took the entrance examination for this company fair and square and was hired by my own merits.
Wait, I'm getting distracted. There's something much more important. At this rate, I'm going to lose my position as a CEO. That's why I contacted you in the first place.
Is that so?
Rosa, can you pretend like nothing ever happened?
Pretend like nothing ever happened?
That's right, I'll forget that you verbally abused my daughter, and I'll apologize for punching you in the face. Actually, no, I won't just apologize. I'll let you be my secretary, And I'll even double your salary. What do you say? That's a good deal, right?
And I was wondering what you were going to say.
What is it? You're not satisfied with just doubling your salary? Fine, I'll triple it. If that's not enough, I know, I'll let you marry me. I've already divorced my former wife, so I can marry you whenever you want. And marrying the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company will also ensure that I'm going to climb the corporate ladder in the future. So it's a win-win. This is a wonderful proposition that benefits both of us, don't you think?
I think you're forgetting something important. Do you really think that you can retain your current position after just having punched someone in the face for no good reason?
Huh? But don't you understand? I just made a proposition that will fix all of that.
You mean make me your secretary and also your wife?
Yes, exactly. I think this is a lucrative deal for you as well, am I wrong?
Actually, I'm quite disgusted by the idea.
What?
We've already decided what to do with you. I'm going to file a police report on you for punching me in the face. That's what I've decided.
Hold on!
I already have the certificate of diagnosis from the doctor.
But you don't have any proof that I'm the one who did it.
There are eyewitnesses.
Huh?
You completely didn't notice that when I entered your office, I left the door half open.
Huh? And what if you did?
When you called me to your office, I had one of my colleagues follow me and wait outside and secretly observe our conversation.
What?
That's what happened. I hope you understand now that I have everything I need to file a police report on you. Goodbye then.
Miss Page! You were the daughter of the head of our parent company? That's so unfair. You never said anything about it. The only reason my dad punched you was because you scolded me. It's your fault for verbally abusing me. It's so unfair. You're the one who's wrong, but you just used your father's position to turn the tables on us. But since I'm so kind, I'll forgive you. If you forgive my father in turn, then I'll let you be my secretary when I become the CEO of this company. What do you say? This is a wonderful deal, right?
I think you should go to bed first, because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Miss Morgan, it seems like you've made quite a few misunderstandings. While it's true that I relied on my father to take care of this incident, it doesn't change the fact that your father punched me in the face after all I did was caution you for taking leave without notice. I even had to go to the doctor because of it. Don't you think that it's natural to ask your parents for help in such a situation?
Well, I guess that's true.
It just so happens that the victim's father was one of the heads of this company's parent company, and that your father, the assailant, was the company's CEO. Because of this coincidence, the leaders of the parent company are now asking themselves whether they can let someone who just punches other people in the face for no good reason in charge of a company. Not only is your father's capability of running a company being put into question, but so is his integrity as a human being.
Does that mean that my dad might not be the CEO anymore?
Yes, it does mean that.
But that also means that I won't be the CEO of this company either.
The next CEO of this company wasn't decided to be you in the first place.
What?
Your father. During the first year he was in office as CEO, things ran smoothly in the company, even if there weren't exactly any major achievements. But the moment that the daughter he loved so much joined the company, he became, well, like that. You could even say he became a different person. I still don't understand what makes people undergo such massive changes.
I don't care about all of that. I want you to cooperate in making sure my dad doesn't lose his position as the CEO of this company. If you're the daughter of the head of the parent company, then something like that should be easy for you. Right?
After all this, you still don't understand the situation your father is in.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you this one more time. I think you should go to bed, because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Well then, goodbye. After that, I turned in the police report on Mr. Morgan. I didn't bother with an out-of-court settlement since he didn't seem to show any remorse for his actions. I made him pay an alimony after making sure this offense was filed on his record. I heard rumors that he was forced to go into debt because of this. After the incident, of course, his daughter Rosa lost her position in the company as the daughter of the CEO and was now just a new employee. Worse than that, everyone knew about how she didn't come to work on her first day for no good reason, and how her father was the former CEO with a criminal record. She was basically forced to quit because of all of this. She started working multiple part-time jobs from day to night to support both herself and her father, who could no longer find any job of his own. But one day the two of them just disappeared, and apparently no one knows where they are now.
Well then, Melody, that's all for now.
Yeah, Hayden.
The flight tomorrow is after 7 a.m., right?
Yes, that's right. There's a diner near the hotel where I'm staying that opens at 6 a.m., so I plan to have breakfast there before heading to the airport.
I see. Sorry that I can't see you off.
It's okay. You've got work, right? Besides, it's not like we'll never see each other while we're living apart.
Yeah, that's true. My work as a dance instructor is likely to pick up on that side of things.
And we've already had a solid discussion about our future plans. Since I'll be over there, I'll make sure to keep moving forward with all the preparations and paperwork I can handle.
Got it. Thanks a lot.
Serves you right. Riley, what's this about serves you right? I heard Dad told you about the separation and now you're homeless, right? Excuse me? When Dad remarried that older, poor woman 5 years ago, I was seriously shocked, but now, look at you, abandoned by him. And a divorce is probably coming soon. Okay, yes, we did start living separately, but that's because of our work schedules. And just to clear things up, I've actually signed a lease for my apartment in this area, so I'm definitely not homeless. What's a part-time housewife who depended on Dad's income talking about? Plus, now that you're separated, it looks like you've moved out of this area, so you won't even be able to continue your part-time job. In other words, unemployed. That means you're homeless, right? Listen, that's not it. My job isn't part-time, and I earn enough on my own. Right, you're saying you've got your own income now, huh? But wasn't it because you were getting allowances from Dad before? Acting like you've earned it all by yourself? I can't stand women who act like they've achieved something when it's just Dad's money. Has Dad never told you anything about my work? Isn't it a part-time job at a convenience store? I've actually seen you serving customers at that convenience store by S Station. The convenience store is a family business, actually. It's something my family runs, and sometimes I help out when part-time students need a hand, during exam periods or when the store is short-staffed. So you're just filling in during your usual part-time hours, right? It's still the same low income you've had all along, just with a little more work. Don't make it sound like you're doing something impressive. I've told you already I'm not working part-time. Oh, I get it. That whole thing about I'm a business owner, was that a big lie you've been telling yourself? You're still going on about that fantasy? There's no way a woman who dropped out of school could ever be in charge of something, right? Forget it. No matter how much I explain, we just keep going in circles with this conversation. Anyway, it's only one more year, right? 1 year? I think you should start preparing for life after high school, too. Huh? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Hayden, about Riley.
Oh, Melody, what's up?
There was a property I'd been looking into in the area, and it's just been listed for sale.
Oh, really?
I was thinking of scheduling a viewing to coincide with your visit next week. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Please go ahead and arrange it.
Got it.
Wait, actually, sorry, Melody.
What's wrong?
It seems like Riley said something strange.
Ah, you mean the misunderstanding about the reason for the separation?
Yeah, she's under the impression that I started living separately with the intention of getting a divorce, and no matter how much I explain, she doesn't get it. She kept interrupting me while I was talking, saying things like, "It's not like you have to defend him now," and "I'm an adult now, so I understand the grown-up stuff. I'm fine." She just kept laughing and dismissing everything I said. She doesn't listen to anything. She's so much like her mother in that regard.
Well, I haven't exactly made my job clear to her, so I guess it's understandable that she might be confused.
Yeah, that can't be helped. I used to work at that dance school, and I've mentioned that a famous idol trained there before their debut, and things got blown out of proportion because of it. I got caught up in all that mess.
I was even asked to get 30 idols' autographs without anyone even asking me directly.
That was tough to turn down, wasn't it? Even after I told them I was a different course instructor and had no contact with the idols, they wouldn't listen. It was such a hassle.
And Riley still doesn't seem to understand what's wrong with it. She doesn't get it at all.
As for you, I could never tell her about the company you run or how you managed to save $3 million by the time you're in your 40s. That kind of income is something I can't share with anyone.
I don't think anyone else would have the courage to talk about your savings. But if there's ever a chance to bring up the company, I guess it'll have to wait until after the promised day, a year from now.
Yeah.
It's been a year, you poor girl. Finished your graduation ceremony today, huh? Oh, right. Congratulations on graduating. Well, I'm moving now. Gotta pack up. Oh, I see. So you've been preparing for this. Of course. What do you think? I'm going to live in a mansion in the heart of the city while attending university. What? We bought a mansion, you know. Dad was so happy he was practically dancing. Do you know that they bought a house in the city? I overheard you talking about it on the phone with someone. You heard that? Dad was trying to keep it a surprise for me, but of course I knew. He's my dad, after all. Riley, can you please stop? What do you mean? Are you saying you don't want to live with me anymore? You should be getting a divorce soon, right? That's not what I meant. What I'm asking is this. Do you really think you can afford the mortgage on that house with Hayden's income? What? I'm just going to be blunt here. Don't get mad, but that house, it's in my name. No way. Sure, Hayden's successful as a dance instructor and his income is a bit higher than the average for his age, but there's no way he makes enough to buy a mansion in the heart of the city. I don't want to explain this further, so I'll just pass the baton to Hayden now. Huh? Wait, are you with Dad right now? Why?
Riley!
Papa? hey, why are you with Melody, who's supposed to be getting a divorce?
I never said we were getting a divorce.
What? Wait a minute, but you've been separated for a whole year now. When you say separated, doesn't that usually mean that a divorce is just around the corner?
It's not like that. It's a temporary separation just due to work commitments.
Temporary work commitments? But Melanie doesn't even have a job now, right? Isn't she unemployed? And she doesn't have anywhere to stay, does she? She's probably homeless right now, isn't she?
You really don't listen, do you?
What do you mean?
I've told you so many times that Melody is a business owner. What I'm about to tell you now is something I haven't shared before, but she runs an entertainment production company.
An entertainment production company?
Yes. Until now, she's mainly been operating the company out of regional offices. However, her talents and performers have been increasingly getting jobs in New York City, so we decided it was the right time to relocate the headquarters there. I, too, will have more freedom once I finish some commitments in about a year, and I'm planning to start working for Melody's company. So we've been preparing for the company move, both personally and professionally. That's why we had to have this separation for a year.
But didn't you two have some kind of falling out?
Riley, you've been twisting the story to fit your own view, constantly belittling Melody and insulting her. You've started to sound just like your mother, the one who destroyed our family.
Wait, are you talking about Mom?
You know that your mother's affair was the real reason for our divorce. And I also explained to you that I'm not your biological father.
Well, I know that. But still, I was born when you and Mom were married, right? That means officially, on paper, you're still my father, right? So I'm your daughter, isn't that right?
No, not anymore. On paper, I'm no longer your father.
What?
When your real father, the man your mother had an affair with, was confirmed, there was a process that allowed for legal changes. So Riley, as of now, there is no longer any record of me being your father.
What are you talking about? Then why did you take me in? When Mom disappeared with some guy, you were the one who took me in.
We explained this when we took you in. But the truth is, it was actually your maternal grandparents who took you in first.
What? Huh?
Yes. Your grandparents were getting older and were concerned about their health. But despite everything that happened, they couldn't bear the thought of sending their own granddaughter to an orphanage or an institution. They knew the situation was complicated, but in the end, they turned to me, your former stepfather, because they felt I was the right person to take care of you.
Wait, so it was them, not you?
That's right. But they were concerned about their ability to take care of you, especially as they were getting older and facing health issues. They knew that they couldn't properly look after you with their declining health, so they turned to me. But even though I had no obligation to raise you, I didn't want to refuse their request. After thinking it through and discussing it with Melody, we decided that we would take care of you until you graduated high school.
Hold on. You're saying that today is my graduation day, right? Today?
Yes, exactly. We made that arrangement long ago, and we even signed the necessary papers to make it official. This wasn't just something we decided on a whim. It was a promise, and it was all legally documented.
I don't remember that.
I know you don't remember it, but the documents are real, and they're there. You can't deny that.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, it's all in the documents. So, while you were off at your graduation, I went ahead and packed up all your things. I've already left. I'm in New York City now.
What? You're already there?
Yes, I've already moved. I was only waiting for this moment for you to graduate. And now, it's time for me to go.
Wait, so that means you're saying I have to move out now? Like, right away?
Yes, I'd appreciate it if you could vacate the house soon. You've been living in my place for a while now, and with everything that's happened, it's time for you to find your own place.
Wait, hold on a second. I thought I was supposed to be living with you in the big house in New York City. That house I thought was for all of us to live in together. You never told me that this would happen. What am I supposed to do now? I don't have anywhere to go.
I'm afraid you need to figure that out on your own. I've already made the necessary arrangements on my end, and now it's time for you to step up. I'm sure you can manage. After all, you've been living here for years, and now it's time for you to learn to be independent. I understand this may be difficult for you, but it's something you'll need to do eventually. This is just the first step.
But Papa, this doesn't make sense. I thought I would be part of the family and we'd all stay together. How could you just leave me like this?
It's not about leaving you behind. It's about fulfilling our promises and living up to what was agreed upon. The truth is, I've already moved on, and now it's time for you to do the same.
Papa? Why won't you answer me? Melody! Hey, I just wanted to tell you that I'm moving into the mansion you bought. Finally, I have been freed from those days of constant meaningless insults. And to be honest, I am feeling so relieved right now, it's almost overwhelming. I can't even begin to describe how stressful those days were, but now that they're over, I realize just how much weight I've been carrying on my shoulders. What? And I found out that I'm pregnant. Pregnant? Yes, of course, it's Hayden's child. It's going to be a high-risk pregnancy because I'm in my 40s, so I'm being extra cautious about everything. Anything that might cause stress, I'm cutting it out of my life, no questions asked. I was the one who caused stress? I need you to realize just how much you've contributed to all of this. Oh. So with that said, I'll be leaving now. The following day, Riley found herself heading towards her maternal grandparents' house, located about a 15-minute walk from where she had been staying. The house was familiar to her, and despite the emotional turmoil she was experiencing, it felt like the only place left to turn to for support. She had a strained but present relationship with her grandparents, having seen them on several occasions over the years, though it was not one based on deep emotional closeness. Regardless, it felt like the best option given the circumstances. She had no real plan. The only thing that was certain was her sense of desperation. As Riley walked towards their house, the path felt longer than it usually did, perhaps because of the weight of her situation was now so much more apparent. Her mind raced, and she struggled to push away the overwhelming emotions and confusion that had taken over her. She wasn't just carrying her physical belongings, but a heavy burden of uncertainty, rejection, and feelings of abandonment. Every step she took towards her grandparents' house seemed to carry an invisible weight on her shoulders, one she couldn't shake off no matter how hard she tried. When Riley finally arrived at the house, she was greeted by her grandparents, but there was something noticeably distant in their response. It wasn't an unkind reception, but it lacked the warmth she had hoped for. After all, she had come here expecting that in a moment of crisis, family would offer some solace. Instead, there was an awkwardness in the air, a hesitation that immediately made her question whether this had been the right decision. Her grandparents were elderly, and though they had been kind to her in the past, the situation she now found herself in felt far different from the one in which they had once provided support. It became clear to Riley that her visit was not going to be as simple as she imagined. Although she had expected some help, the reality was harsher than she had hoped. 6 months prior, her uncle's family had moved in with her grandparents, and the dynamics of the household had changed dramatically. What had once been a relatively quiet, stable environment was now filled with additional people, which added to the already tense atmosphere. Her uncle, his wife, and their children were all now living under the same roof, and the strain on everyone's patience was visible. Riley's grandparents, while seemingly understanding of her predicament, had also been dealing with their own challenges and were not in a position to offer her the kind of help she needed. Her uncle, who had become more of a fixture in their home, made it very clear from the moment she arrived that he had no intention of offering her any assistance. His coldness was unmistakable, and his words were harsh. He bluntly told Riley that there was no room for her there, and if she wanted to stay, she would have to leave within 3 weeks. The ultimatum was final, and there was no room for negotiation. Devastated and shocked, Riley was left standing in front of her grandparents' house with her belongings scattered around her. It felt like a betrayal, a complete abandonment by the family she had always known. She could hardly believe that she was being treated this way. She had hoped for understanding, for a chance to rebuild her life with the support of those who had watched her grow up. But instead, she was being pushed away with no regard for her struggles. Riley's world had crumbled, and she was left to pick up the pieces alone. The days passed, and Riley struggled to come to terms with the situation. It wasn't just the rejection that was hard to bear. It was the overwhelming sense of hopelessness that seemed to follow her everywhere. For weeks, she stayed at her grandparents' house trying to convince herself that there was still a way out, that there was some possibility for reconciliation. But the more she tried to make sense of everything, the more she realized that she was fighting a losing battle. The 3-week deadline loomed over her, and the thought of being kicked out with nowhere to go was terrifying. In the midst of all this, Riley suddenly remembered something crucial, something she had completely forgotten in all the chaos of the past few weeks. She had been planning to attend university, and part of her plan had been that her father, Hayden, would pay for her admission fees. She had never even considered that Hayden might not be willing to support her. It was an assumption she had made out of habit, but the reality hit her like a ton of bricks when she realized the payment deadline had already passed. By the time the thought crossed her mind, it was too late. The window of opportunity had closed, and she had missed her chance. The weight of this realization was unbearable. Riley felt as if everything she had worked toward, her education, her future, was now slipping through her fingers. She had been counting on Hayden to help her, and now it seemed that her dream of going to university was nothing more than a distant fantasy. The emotional toll of it all broke her. Desperation and panic set in as she rushed to her grandparents and uncle, begging them for help. "If I don't pay the fees, I won't be able to graduate. I'll just be a high school graduate with no future," she cried. But instead of compassion, she was met with cold indifference. Her uncle's response was a sharp rebuke. He told her that it wasn't their responsibility to fix her problems and that she needed to figure things out on her own. The complete lack of empathy stung deeply, and Riley felt her heart shatter as she realized that no one was going to help her. It was as if she had become invisible to them, a burden that they no longer cared to bear. The rejection didn't stop there. In the cruelest of gestures, her belongings were thrown out onto the front lawn. Everything she had, her clothes, her books, her personal items, were discarded without a second thought. The message was clear. She was no longer welcome, no longer part of the family. It was a stark reminder of how quickly everything could change, how easily people could turn their backs on you when you needed them the most. Riley left her grandparents' house with no real destination in mind. She had no plan, no idea where she was going, but she knew she couldn't stay there. She headed south, far from the place she had once called home, and she disappeared from their lives. Her family was left to wonder what had become of her. No one knew where she had gone or what had happened to her. The last anyone heard, she was on her way to an uncertain future, a future that seemed more and more hopeless as the days passed. What happened to Riley after she left her grandparents' house remains a mystery. Some say she headed to a nearby city, others think she might have reached out to distant relatives or friends. But in the end, no one knew for sure. The girl who had once dreamed of a bright future was now a lost soul, wandering through a world that seemed increasingly indifferent to her struggles. Her story, once full of hope, had now become a tale of abandonment, of rejection by the people she had once trusted. And as time passed, Riley's future seemed more and more uncertain, a future that was now hers to navigate alone. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Lily, I'm sorry, but could you lend me $5,300?
Dexter, what the hell? A college student suddenly asking for $5,300? Are you serious?
It's for tuition.
Excuse me? Explain yourself. I thought your university's tuition wasn't something you'd have to worry about like this. What's going on?
My university requires the entire year's tuition to be paid up front. That's why the amount is so high.
You've got to be kidding me. Come on, Dexter. You were the one who said you didn't want to rely on scholarships because they made you nervous. You promised that you'd work hard and earn enough to cover everything during your time in college. If I remember correctly, didn't you have a whole plan to manage your expenses after your first year? Even if I'm your sister, this isn't the kind of money I can just hand over on a whim.
I know, Lily. Believe me, I didn't want to ask you for this either. I'm desperate. I feel like I'm grasping at straws here. I have no one else to turn to, and the deadline is fast approaching.
There's more to this story, isn't there? Fine, let's meet up and talk about it in person. I'll hear you out. Meet me at the family restaurant on the 5th floor of the F Station Mall. We'll discuss it over dinner.
I don't even have enough money to eat out.
It's fine. I'll cover that at least.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Lily. I owe you big time. I'll tell you everything when we meet, I promise.
You better. Don't try to gloss over anything, all right?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know this is a huge inconvenience for you. I'm sorry.
Lily, I heard you switched jobs and got a pay raise. Isn't it time you increased the amount you're sending to the family? You were the one who defied us and left home when you started college. It's about time you repay your parents for raising you, don't you think? Show some gratitude. Hi, Mom. Long time no talk. And of course, it's another message about money. You know, you really don't give up, do you? Even though you know I'll say no. If you want money, why don't you get a job? It's embarrassing enough that neither you nor Dad are working. How dare you speak to me like that? I'm just giving you a chance to be a good daughter and show some filial piety. You should appreciate the opportunity. Maybe I'll reduce the amount I send to 10 cents from now on. Excuse me, that is clearly a typo, right? You meant to say you'd increase it to $1,000, didn't you? No typo, I meant 10 cents. What the hell? Living alone comes with a lot of expenses, you know. Plus, I'm still paying off my student loans. Honestly, I shouldn't even be sending anything to you at all. And speaking of this gratitude you keep bringing up, let's clear something up. In case you forgot, I paid for my high school tuition myself. I worked part-time jobs to cover it. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard me. And for college, I relied entirely on scholarships to get by. And as I mentioned, I am still paying these loans off. Let's not forget, when I was a kid, it wasn't you or Dad who made sure I had food to eat. It was Grandma, who passed away 6 months ago, who took care of me. To be honest, I don't really feel like I owe you anything for raising me. It's normal for grown children to take care of their parents. That's how it's supposed to be. Maybe so, but I think only parents who actually did their part in raising their kids get to make that argument. You are unbelievable. Look at your brother Dexter. He is paying his own $5,300 tuition. Why can't you be more like him? Excuse me? What? He's your younger brother, yet he's managing his finances. Meanwhile, you, as the older sibling, are only offering 10 cents as support. Are you trying to mock us? Wait a second. That $5,300? That was me. I lent it to Dexter. What? I just spoke to your father. He said the $5,300 we paid at the time of Dexter's college enrollment was definitely deposited into Dexter's account. Why are you snooping through Dexter's bank records without his permission? And recently your father said Dexter gave him $6,000 too. Do you honestly believe that money was meant for Dad? Are you seriously that naive? Your father is furious. He says it's ungrateful for you not to increase the amount you send to us. What kind of daughter are you? I'm already sending $500 a month, aren't I? Are you actually pushing me to cut it down to 10 cents? Well, your father said, then stop sending anything at all. Even those measly 10 cents aren't worth it. He even joked that Dexter seems to be doing just fine earning money, so we will rely on him instead. Unbelievable. You're seriously planning to mooch off a college student now? But I can't wrap my head around it. But you know what? This might actually be a good opportunity to bring up something I've been meaning to discuss with Dad. And since you're here, I'll fill you in too. What are you talking about? The $5,300 Dad mentioned was indeed for Dexter's first year of tuition, but the $5,300 I'm talking about is something entirely different. It's the amount Dexter worked hard to save this year for his second year's tuition. He took on multiple part-time jobs to cover it himself. Wait, what? Let me explain. When Dexter started college, Grandma and I stepped in to help with the initial costs, including his enrollment fee and first-year tuition. We knew it was too much for a high schooler to handle alone. However, from the second year onward, Dexter was determined to pay his way. He promised to earn and save enough through his part-time jobs, but then Dad, who apparently has no sense of boundaries, found out Dexter was working extra hours and saving diligently. Dad showed up unannounced at Dexter's apartment one day, let himself in, rummaged through his belongings, and discovered a savings account with about $6,000. That account, by the way, was specifically set up to cover Dexter's tuition and apartment rent. But Dad, being Dad, somehow convinced himself that it was money Dexter intended to send to you and him. So what did he do? He withdrew every single cent without asking. Excuse me? Yeah, Dexter made the mistake of using an easy-to-guess PIN, which is partly on him, I'll admit. But because of that, he's now facing a tuition payment crisis. He couldn't pay the $5,300 for the upcoming year and had no choice but to turn to me for help. With no other option, he swallowed his pride and asked me to lend him the money. I can't believe this. Well, believe it. I couldn't let him drop out of school over something like this, so I paid the tuition for him. Now, thanks to Dad's selfish actions, both Dexter and I are left financially strapped for the foreseeable future. We're both going to be living frugally for a while. This can't be happening. And because of all this, I've decided to stop sending money to you entirely. As for Dexter, I'm under no illusion that he'll be in any position to support anyone else, let alone you and Dad. He's focused on rebuilding his savings and getting through college. Wait a minute, you can't just stop sending money. We rely on it. Without it, we're in big trouble. Up until now, your father has been living off the inheritance he got from your grandfather. And when your grandfather passed away 6 months ago, we used her inheritance too. But that's all gone now. You blew through Grandma's inheritance? That's bad enough, but to think you've already burned through Grandma's inheritance too, less than 6 months after her passing? What is wrong with you two? Do you even realize how irresponsible that is? Oh, don't you dare lecture me. We used most of the inheritance for Dexter. He's the eldest son and the rightful heir of this family. Everything we did was for him. Oh, please, let's not kid ourselves. Anything important involving Dexter was either paid for by Grandpa or Grandma. You two were just along for the ride. What are you trying to say? I'm saying that now that the money you've been relying on has run out, Dexter has finally realized what kind of mess he's in. He's doing his best to stand on his own 2 feet and build a future for himself. So I'm asking you, no, I'm telling you, don't interfere with his efforts.
Lily, you didn't give Dad and Mom your apartment address, right? And I'm pretty sure you didn't tell them where you work either.
Yeah, I didn't. Why?
Can I stay with you for a while? Just temporarily, I promise.
What's going on?
Dad and Mom showed up at my place uninvited. They've moved in.
What?
Apparently, they blew through Grandma's inheritance and fell behind on rent for the house. They got evicted.
You've got to be kidding me. Wait, so the house wasn't theirs? It was a rental?
Yeah, it was. I guess I overlooked that detail, too. Anyway, it's gotten to the point where they've stopped caring about appearances entirely. They've started trying to take cash from my wallet when I'm not looking, and even tried pawning my stuff.
Are you serious? After everything they've said about loving you as the eldest son and heir, they're treating you like this?
From what I've gathered, they've been relying on loans to cover living expenses for the past few months.
Loans?
And yet they're showing zero signs of trying to get jobs. They're clearly counting on me to support them. Dad even asked me when my next paycheck is coming in. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before they take my money outright. I might have to drop out of college just to support them. That would make all the sacrifices you made to cover my tuition completely pointless.
I see. Give me a little time to think. Stay put for now, okay? Dexter, can you hang in there for a couple more days before we deal with this?
Yeah, I think I can manage. My paycheck doesn't come in for another week anyway. If you have a plan, I'll try to wait it out.
Actually, I don't think you should wait at all. Tomorrow morning, take all your valuables with you when you leave for class. After that, don't go back home. Instead, head to Station A after school.
Station A?
Your destination is an apartment near Station A Mansion. It's a 5-minute walk from the station.
A mansion? Wait, who lives there?
You've met them before, back when you were in high school.
Oh, I get it. You mean your boyfriend, right? The one who just came back from his overseas assignment a month ago?
Bingo! Since I don't want Dad and Mom figuring out where I live, I thought this was a good alternative. Plus, if you're going to hide somewhere, it might as well be somewhere with strong security. When I asked him for help, he didn't hesitate. He said he'd take care of you. He even offered to help find you a new place to live and assist with the financial side of things if needed.
Your boyfriend's a total legend.
I'll send you his contact information in a bit. Make sure to call him once you leave campus tomorrow, and he'll take it from there.
Got it. But honestly, I feel so pathetic right now. I've been relying on you and everyone else so much. I'm supposed to be working hard to become independent, but here I am running away again.
Dexter, listen to me. There's no shame in asking for help when you've done everything you can on your own. It's part of being human, part of surviving. What you can't do is try to shoulder everything alone. That's a fast track to burning out.
Lily.
Be grateful for the help you receive, and when you're in a better position, pay it forward by helping someone else. That's how you repay kindness.
Yeah, you're right. I'll do my best to get stronger. To become someone who can do that someday.
Lily, do you know where Dexter went? He left for university 2 days ago and hasn't come back since. Then this morning, some big, intimidating men suddenly showed up, and before I knew it, your father and Dexter were shoved into a black van with them. Oh? I was half asleep when they barged in, so I couldn't put up much resistance before the car sped off. I think we're in another state. It looks like some kind of company dormitory or something. Your father and I were both dumped here. That's the dormitory for Oniwa Corporation, a construction company. What? Oniwa Corporation? Yeah, I guess you wouldn't know about it since you've never worked a proper job. What are you talking about? What does this have to do with anything? Oniwa Corporation is famous for its employee training. They're known for turning even the most troublesome people into respectable, functioning adults. That's where Dad, and eventually you, will work to repay their debts and hopefully reform themselves. What? Why is this happening? If money is the issue, then Dexter or you could simply give us the money as part of your filial duty. There's no need for us to work like that. Dexter and I want nothing more than to get as far away as possible from toxic parents who are perfect examples of what not to become as adults. Toxic parents? Yeah, I already knew you lacked self-awareness, but your reaction proves it all over again. Never mind that. What about Dexter? Where is he? If you're going to make someone work, then he should be working too. He owes you $5,300, doesn't he? Let me remind you of how this all started. Dad withdrew $6,000 from Dexter's account without permission and spent it all. So here's how it's going to go. First, Dad will repay Dexter the $6,000. After that, Dexter will return $5,300 to me. This process is non-negotiable since it's symbolic, about accountability. And one more thing, once that's done, consider this the end. I'm cutting ties with both of you. Wait, Lily, don't leave me! Bye-bye. The arrangement with the Oniwa group was made possible through the efforts of my boyfriend. It turns out that his father happens to be an old schoolmate of the Oniwa group's president. When I confided in him about the frustrating situation with my parents and my desire to resolve it somehow, he kindly offered to intervene. As a result, the Oniwa group not only agreed to take my parents in, but also welcomed them into their company as live-in employees without hesitation. While all this drama unfolded, Dexter, unbothered by the chaos, successfully completed his move to a new place. Now he's completely immersed in a rigorous daily routine. He works part-time jobs with incredible dedication, using his earnings to cover all his living expenses, rent, and tuition fees. Despite this challenging schedule, he still manages to attend university without compromising on his studies. His perseverance is nothing short of admirable. It's clear that he's determined to carve out a better future for himself on his own terms. As for my parents, the source of so many of our problems, they're currently in their 50s. They should still be in their prime working years, yet decades of laziness have left their toll. Their prolonged indulgence in a slothful lifestyle has apparently made even the basics of hard work an uphill battle for them. It seems they're now struggling to adjust to the structured routine required by their new roles in the Oniwa group. From what I've heard, their daily schedule is quite demanding. In addition to their regular work hours, their routine now includes mandatory morning and evening runs to improve their physical fitness. I suppose this added element of discipline was deemed necessary to help them adapt and overcome the bad habits they've developed over the years. The mental image of them huffing and puffing, running around from morning until night while barely managing to keep up with their responsibilities is oddly satisfying. Just imagining them in such a state eases some of my lingering frustrations, even if only a little. Honestly, it's hard to fully articulate the level of relief this arrangement has brought me. For years, I had borne the burden of my parents' irresponsibility. Their inability, or perhaps refusal, to contribute meaningfully to the household created countless obstacles in my own life. It was as if their complacency was a black hole, pulling me into a vortex of stress and resentment. But now, seeing them finally held accountable for their actions and forced to confront the consequences of their past choices, I can't help but feel a sense of vindication. Dexter's support throughout this ordeal has been invaluable. If it weren't for him and the connections his family provided, I doubt my parents would have ever taken the initiative to turn their lives around. His father's willingness to reach out to the Oniwa Group's president on their behalf was an incredible gesture, one I'll always be grateful for. However, the fact remains that this opportunity was a result of external intervention. My parents certainly didn't earn it through their own efforts. Their acceptance into the Oniwa Group as live-in employees came with the understanding that they'd need to drastically change their habits. The president made it clear from the start that laziness would not be tolerated. It's a no-nonsense environment where everyone is expected to pull their weight, and slacking off simply isn't an option. This newfound structure has forced my parents to step up in ways they never had to before. Meanwhile, Dexter continues to inspire me with his work ethic and determination. Watching him juggle part-time jobs, university classes, and his personal goals is a reminder of what can be achieved through sheer perseverance. His ability to manage his finances independently and maintain a sense of purpose despite the challenges he faces is something I deeply admire. Reflecting on the stark contrast between Dexter's disciplined approach to life and my parents' previous lackadaisical attitude highlights just how much they needed this wake-up call. For too long, they had taken the easy way out, relying on others to shoulder their responsibilities. This new chapter in their lives, though undoubtedly tough, is a necessary step towards their personal growth. Interestingly, the transformation isn't limited to their work habits. My parents' new routine has also had a noticeable impact on their health and fitness levels. The daily runs they're required to do have apparently been a shock to their systems, given how sedentary they had become over the years. At first, they complained incessantly about the physical demands, but over time, they seemed to be slowly adjusting. I've heard that they've even started to take pride in completing their runs without stopping to catch their breath, a small but significant sign of progress. Despite their complaints and struggles, I can't help but feel a small sense of satisfaction knowing that they're finally experiencing the reality of hard work. It's not that I wish them ill, far from it. If anything, I hope this experience serves as a turning point for them, motivating them to become more self-reliant and responsible individuals. However, the fact that they're being held accountable for their past behavior, even in this relatively controlled environment, is undeniably gratifying. This entire situation has taught me a lot about the importance of boundaries and the need to let people face the consequences of their actions. For so long, I had tried to shield my parents from those consequences, hoping that my efforts would somehow inspire them to change. But in the end, it was only through external intervention, through the involvement of the Oniwa group, that they were finally forced to confront their own shortcomings. At the same time, Dexter's resilience and independence have become a source of inspiration for me. His ability to navigate his own challenges with grace and determination is a testament to the power of personal responsibility. Watching him build a life for himself piece by piece has reaffirmed my belief that change is possible, even in the face of adversity. In moments of reflection, I often find myself imagining my parents running laps around the Oniwa Group's training grounds, drenched in sweat and gasping for air as they struggle to keep up with the demands of their new routine. It's a mental image that never fails to bring a small smile to my face, a quiet acknowledgement of the poetic justice at play. Perhaps this experience will ultimately be a blessing in disguise for all of us, For my parents, it represents an opportunity to grow and reclaim a sense of purpose that they had long since abandoned. For me, it's a chance to finally let go of the resentment I had harbored for so many years and focus on building my own future without the weight of their shortcomings holding me back. In the end, I can only hope that this chapter serves as a turning point for all of us, a moment of reckoning that paves the way for a brighter, more balanced future.
Chloe, can we talk for a minute?
Hi, Fisher.
Today, were you going on a walk with another man?
What?
Today at work, I had a lot of time off, so I went out for a bit during my break. And around 2 p.m. today, I was passing by the main plaza downtown, and I saw you walking with another man by one of the hotels there.
What? So you're just going to assume that I'm cheating on you because you saw me walking with a man like that by the hotel?
Well, considering you were leaning right up into his chest as you both walked, looking at him in the eyes, I have a pretty good reason to suspect you're cheating on me.
What?
And if you're gonna tell me that he's just a friend, then can we please set you some boundaries when it comes to other male friends you might have? So could you please explain to me what I just saw today?
So you really saw that much? Big mistake on my part. I never thought that you'd be on the break at that time of day and actually be walking around downtown.
So does this mean you are cheating on me?
Well, I have no choice but to confess now. That was me, with another man, Fisher. And today, him and I were at the hotel making love to one another. Alright, that's what you wanted to hear, right? Therefore, it means you and I are no longer a thing anymore.
Hold it right there.
What do you want?
Do you have any idea who that man is? And could that be the reason behind why you were in his arms walking today?
Of course I know who he is. His name is Luke, but he just happened to be a really important IT employee. At the company he is currently working for right now, he has to be making around $120,000 a year. Actually, I've seen that he's making that much, so...
So you're after his money then?
If you even want to come close to what he's making, then you're going to have to find a better job. But that's impossible for you, right? You ended up going to work at your father's factory, so that's all you're good for, and there's no moving up from there.
I like to think that my family is making just the right amount of money there to be happy, and the same goes for myself. Thanks for saying something like that about me, though.
You and I are breaking up now, so who cares what I say? I don't need to be with the son of some CEO who is only called that by name.
Is that so? Well, then make sure to promise me that in the future, if you ever want to come crying back to me, you won't.
I have no reason to come crying back to you. What would I be even crying about in the first place?
It doesn't really matter at this point. Anyway, I'm going now.
Yeah, goodbye forever.
Fisher, long time no see. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but I just happened to take your girlfriend from you.
Sorry about that. Hey, it's been a while. And I'm sure you're talking to me right now after hearing about how I saw you with Chloe.
That's right.
But why are you back with her again? I don't care how much you've hated me all this time. I did never expect for you to go taking her away from me in the end.
Well, I'm sure nobody would have expected this, but she told me that she doesn't need some useless man like you anymore. Chloe so happens to be a far better woman than even you might have suspected. That's why she knows a real man when she sees one.
What? Has Chloe really been that amazing of a woman?
Now you're gonna try acting all tough about the breakup or something? I know you, Fisher, and I know that you were only ever with her thinking about what all she has in terms of wealth.
Her wealth?
You can stop playing dumb with me now, bud. Chloe happens to be in charge of one of the most famous beauty salons in this city and is making a lot of money doing so. Considering that she's the one managing that place right now, who knows where she'll move up to next when promoted?
Huh. So you're after her money too?
You're the one saying that about me?
Well, whatever, I guess. I've lost all my feelings for Chloe by this point, so I no longer care what she has to do with you and what you guys have planned later on together. Go have fun, Luke.
Huh?
I've already broken up with her by this point, so she's no longer any of my business. If you guys plan to start dating seriously, then go ahead. And if you guys plan to get married, then go right ahead. None of that is anything for me to be bothered with.
Oh, marriage, huh? That's a good idea. Her and I just need to hand in our marriage papers now, and then all that money in her pockets will become mine. Well, now that you know what I'm after, don't you dare lay a finger on that woman again, okay?
I have no intent of ever going around Chloe ever again, Luke. Seriously, man, you enjoy her all you want.
Fisher, I'm going to start letting everyone know that since yesterday you have been my ex-boyfriend, okay? I want everyone to know that there is no chance of you and I ever getting back together again. And that means you need to give up whatever feelings you have left for me.
What's all this about? I saw you cheating on me already, so you don't have to be worried about me ever wanting you back.
I know for a fact that it's not easy for you to just give up a woman like me. And that's why I want you and everyone else knowing that we're never going to be a thing again. Please understand that right now. And also be aware that Luke and I are finishing filling out our marriage forms.
Is that right? Well, enjoy your guys' marriage.
I can't believe that him and I are actually going to be husband and wife.
Which is pretty crazy since you only just broke up with me yesterday.
Well, I wanted to make sure him and I were married the moment you were gone.
Well, you guys still aren't fully married yet, right?
That's true, but in about 2 hours we will be.
That's pretty fast.
Well, come on now, Fisher. He already proposed to me yesterday, and if I were to say no to a man with his specs already, he'd probably move on to someone else and I'd regret everything. He told me that he loved me so much that he wanted to hand in the papers right away, and that's why I told him to make it happen. And the next day we were off to the courthouse. That being today.
You both were in that much of a rush? How crazy.
Don't call me crazy for doing something like that.
I shouldn't. All right, sorry about that.
I get that all of this has to be heartbreaking to you. But when it comes to men, the only thing that matters is the amount of money they have. Which means unlikely, Luke. You are a completely different kind of man since you have no money.
So is that it from you then?
Huh?
You started to text me again to let me know that you and I are officially broken up and that I'm to never expect anything from you again, right? Since you've already told me all of that, this means there's no need to be talking to you anymore. Actually, does Luke even know that you're texting me right now?
No, of course, I wouldn't tell him about this.
Then that means this conversation is over.
What? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else? What do you want to talk about?
Well, you see...
Did you want me to have a bit more of an entertaining reaction or something to everything? Well, here, let me say this. I'm really sorry to say this about the man you're marrying, but the fact that you chose him is insanely hilarious. I've been laughing so much about it that my abs hurt.
Huh?
Well, congrats on that marriage. Now, I'm pretty busy, so I gotta run.
Fisher, I have something to tell you. I have something very important to tell you.
Congrats on getting married. There, are we done now?
Huh?
After thinking about what you told me yesterday, I was assuming that was the news you had for me. I'm tired of having to talk with you, so I thought I'd take us right to the end of the conversation.
What the hell, man? Let me have my fun for a bit, you little jerk. Couldn't you read the freaking air or something?
If you're gonna bring up reading the air, then don't message me anymore. Huh? You are literally talking to your wife's ex-boyfriend right now after they only just broke up yesterday. Doesn't all of that seem a little bit screwed up to you?
Shut the hell up, Fisher. I'm here to tell you that we're married now so that you won't even think twice about trying to get her back. That's all.
I don't care about her anymore, so you can go ahead and relax now. I can tell already that things aren't going to go well with that woman, so it was pretty easy for me to stop loving her.
What? All right, okay. You're just gonna keep crying like a loser until the very end, huh?
What?
All right then. This is all I needed to do. That's the end of the news I had for you. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Especially since you just lost your girlfriend to me and are left with no money at all now. Hey, Fisher! Did you freaking know about all this?
What do you want from me now, bozo?
I'm talking about her salary! I took a look at how much she's making a month. How the hell is a manager of a salon as popular as that only making $1,000 a month?
Oh, good point. If things haven't changed since she was dating me, then that would mean she's only working part-time for a sports bar.
Huh?
The only person I know related to Chloe that's the manager of a beauty salon is her aunt.
Her aunt?
That salon and the sports bar that Chloe is working at are in the same building, but she's not actually working there or anything. Did she tell you she worked in that building or something and never actually told what business she's working for? Not that I care or anything.
What? How much is she making a year then?
Last year she made a whopping $9,000 if I'm remembering that correctly.
That little... So she literally has no wealth.
Well, that's because she's only working part-time.
Why did you never tell me this before?
Shut the hell up, dude. You really think I cared about either of you after learning you'd both been going out behind my back? Also, I kind of believed that she might have gotten a job as the manager there or something, considering she was already lying to me about you. Now, would you stop getting all upset with me when neither of you are my business and I was the one who was told to go away? Next time, how about you don't go out stealing women from other men, and you might end up with a decent person. No shameful person like yourself is gonna end up with anything good in life if you keep doing things like that. And like hell I'll ever tell a man like you anything after you just stole my girlfriend from me.
No freaking way, though!
So now that you understand how much I don't care about you two, leave me out of your post-marriage mess that you're both in now. Bye!
Fisher! Hey, this is me, Chloe. There is something wrong with how much Luke is making every month. He should be working for such a major company right now, yet he's only made $1,000 last month. What the hell is that all about?
Let me guess. You had a closer look at his income and realized that he was only making that much from 1 month's worth of work?
That's right. I am the wife after all, so it's my job to make sure there is enough money coming in for me. And that's what I had to look at the amount. I was in awe. Only $1,000 a month?
Well, Luke is only working part-time.
Huh? He only works part-time?
He's working for that large IT company like you were saying a while back. But he's only working part-time for them, and that's it.
What?
About a year ago, Luke was just living at home with his parents, not even working at all. But then one of his family members came by and said he should at least start trying to make some money for himself and introduced him to that company. He didn't have many skills at the time or experience, so they only gave him a part-time position.
He was just sitting in his parents' house a year ago?
Yup.
Wait, how come you know so much about Luke?
I've never even knew any of that about him, and I'm his wife.
So you didn't even know about the relationship he and I have before you started cheating on me?
What relationship?
Luke used to be my little brother.
Little brother?
He used to be, okay?
What does that even mean?
I'm sure I've already told you this story, but when I was just 3 years old, my mom passed away. And so a little while later, my dad ended up getting married to another woman. And, well, the child that woman brought along when marrying my dad was Luke. Then, a little over a year ago, my dad ended up divorcing his mom.
And so that's why you say he used to be your little brother?
That's the reason why. Well, during that whole time my dad was married to his mom, he always hated my guts. So when they got a divorce, I was finally free to live without that idiot around me all the time. And since then, I hadn't spoken to him at all, really. We still both live in the same town, though, so I can hear about what's going on with him from some of our mutual friends and whatnot.
What the hell? So you knew from the very beginning that Luke was only working part-time at that company? Why did you never even tell me anything?
You think your ex-boyfriend who you broke up with would care to tell you anything? What's strange is that when Luke came to me talking about taking you, he said that you were working for your aunt's salon as the manager and were making lots of money.
Huh?
Did you never actually tell him about how you were just working part-time for the bar in that same building and that it was your aunt running the beauty salon?
We talked about some of that, but...
So what happened is, to get him to want to marry you, you lied about your line of work so that he'd think you had money yourself as well.
What the hell?
Anyway, I don't have anything to do with you two. So now that you understand how much I don't care about you two, leave me out of your post-marriage mess that you're both in now.
Fisher?
Goodbye forever. Now that both Chloe and Luke understood the whole truth about one another's income and work, after having finished talking to me, they both got into a massive fight. And that whole time, neither of them considered themselves to be at fault for anything that had happened. This then led to the both of them continuing to tell one another the things that were really true about themselves. Things like how both of them were thinking the other had lots of money, so they began to buy all kinds of things on their credit cards, thinking they'd be able to pay it off after the marriage. And about how both of them don't really have anything saved up in any of their bank accounts. All sorts of crazy things like that. As of right now, those two are living in a small apartment that Chloe's aunt is helping them rent. And while they're staying there, they're both still getting into these huge fights that cause all kinds of noise complaints from the other tenants. When Chloe's aunt was finally made aware of all the complaints, she went and ended the contract on that apartment room without even telling her niece or Luke. They were then kicked out of that place the following day. This then led to the two getting a divorce immediately afterwards and moving back to their parents' houses, where they work under their parents' supervision, not being allowed out of the house for anything besides work. And this will continue to be their lives until they've paid off all the debt they were in and show promises of actually being able to live on their own again. But I'm almost certain that they won't be able to make things work on their own ever again, and will most likely get kicked out of their parents' houses the moment their parents realize how terrible they are to keep around. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.